All right, y'all boys, let's get right into it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So, today we're going to talk about how to get lean without starving yourself. All right, because the audacity that some people have in the comments, right? Listen, if you're fat as shit, stop trying to give advice. If you don't have a profile picture and you're fat as shit, why are you telling me how to eat when you've never ate right, which is why you're fat as shit? This shit is crazy to me. It's literally crazy to me. But, anyways, stop going in the comments and saying keto works when you have no muscle mass and you're still obese, right? Talking BMI and body fat. All right, here's the thing. Keto is not going to work because it's not sustainable. All right, it's literally the definition of starving yourself. The way you gain a lot of fat is you eat a lot of food, you eat in a calorie surplus, too many carbs, too much fat for a long period of time. And it's the carb sources you're eating. It's usually sugary candy, sugary coffees, cakes, pies. It's usually like pizza. That's what you guys are usually eating for a long period of time. That's how you're gaining the fat. You're overeating that. Or if you eat potatoes, right, you're eating steak, healthy fats, you're not gonna get fat unless you overeat that as well. All right, but it's gonna fill you up more, so you're not gonna really need that. So I'm gonna show you exactly how to get lean without starving. None of this goofy BS shit. All right, so like I said, any one of you keto warriors who are in the comments, this is not for you. All right, this is not for keto warriors who are fat as shit. That shit pisses me off. All right, stop saying keto works when you're literally a representation that it doesn't. You failed it 3 times. You're one of the biggest humans on earth. All right. If you're lazy as fuck or you're a gooner, you have a negative mindset, this ain't for you. Listen, negative mindset doesn't matter what plan you have in front of you. If you have a negative mindset, you're failing. If you're uncoachable and you're not willing to commit to 6 months, right? This is not for you because guess what? 6 months is a very short period of time. A lot of us have spent decades eating like shit. All right, so not committing for 6 months to undo everything that you did for decades is crazy to me. Like someone will spend 20 years gaining 100 pounds, and they won't even commit 6 months to losing 40 to 50 of that. They're like, no, that's too long. It's like, dude, you've been doing this for 20 years. If you're not ready to prioritize yourself and your health, this is definitely not for you. A lot of people make excuses. They're like, no, you don't understand my situation. Like this comes first, that comes first. If you don't come first, your health is gonna, decline to the point where you have to stop everything else you're doing, right? And then you have to fix your health. So you might as well fix it first. All right, so here's a misconception about eating lean. All right, it's not fucking eating less. All right, if anything, it's just picking better sources. For example, when people see me eat, they're like, like at work sometimes, depending on what I would get. Like if I was eating like steak and potatoes, it looked kind of small portions. But when I was eating like ground beef, since it's 93.7, I would have a lot of ground beef. I would have rice, and then you know, I would have like some beans and some edamame. So it looked like I was eating, 2,000 calories. And people would be like, man, you eat too much, man. That's what they would say when I brought that. But if I brought like sweet potatoes and steak, they're like, man, you eating like a bird, shit like that. But when I brought all the ground beef, it would be like 8 ounces. 8 ounces of ground beef it looks like a fucking 2 pounds of meat, right? Pause. But yeah, 8 ounces of ground beef looks like a lot. So once you eat with more volume, once your fiber intake is higher, right? Once your protein intake is more higher or is higher, you're going to feel fuller longer, and it's going to look like you're eating more, right? So you have to realize as well, foods that are high in fat or high in sugar, they're calorie dense, but they're low in volume. So for example, a lot of chips actually have more fat than you think. Like if the chips aren't baked, they have a lot of more fat than you think. But like fried chicken specifically, like one piece of fried chicken is like 400 calories because it's high in fat because it's fried. Fat is 9 calories per gram, right? And your stomach doesn't realize the difference, right? Because it goes based off volume. So if you eat 8 ounces of chicken breast, that's gonna fill you up. But if you eat 3 ounces of fried chicken, which is gonna be way more calories, that won't fill you up. All right. So fiber content, high water, like vegetables, fruits, and some low calorie soups, those are gonna keep you fuller longer. So when you stuff your plate with a bunch of broccoli, you got a bunch of ground beef, right? You got some potatoes. It's gonna look like you're eating 10,000 calories when in reality you're eating less than 1,000. All right. All the diets are unsustainable. All right. I I cannot stand the people in the comments. I already know they're gonna comment on this video and be like, well, what you're saying isn't it? And it's like, listen, everyone who comments is proof of exactly what I'm talking about. Because I always go, for some reason, I always go to profile and I see a fat face, and then it's just like some out of shape dude saying, "Oh, keto worked for me to lose 200 pounds." If you had 200 pounds to lose, you could have ate fucking cookies and lost that. All right? Because if you're 500 or 400 pounds, you can still eat cookies and lose weight. You're just eating so much fucking food that you're not losing weight. But anyways, keto and carnivore, they restrict you from carbs, which is just not necessary. If you have a lot of fat to lose, why are you cutting out carbs, right? Why are you cutting out carbs? You're just gonna have low energy initially. Like if you're 40% body fat, you don't need to cut out carbs. All right. Now, if you get to 7% and you're trying to step on stage and you're like, man, I need to hurry this shit up, man. Like, let me just reduce the carbs. You could reduce the carbs. It would make sense. Once you get below 10%, you could think about reducing carbs, not going keto or carnivore, but you could think about reducing carbs. But it's pretty easy to get to 8% without fucking cutting out carbs. You know what I mean? You can reduce them, but cutting them out, it literally makes no sense. I've been to 8%, 9%, 10% consistently without cutting out my carbs. Now, my carbs might go from 400, 350 to like 150 to 100, but I'm still eating more carbs than keto and carnivore. Keto is like 50 or less grams of carbs from like vegetables and stuff like that if they do get any. You know what I mean? It's just not necessary. It makes no sense. And a lot of times I'll see, like I said, I'll see someone who's 300 plus pounds, 30 to 40% plus body fat, and they're telling me, like, yeah, man, keto does work. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, are you the example? Because if you're the example, I'm literally never going to do keto again. I do not want to look like you. All right, I just don't. And you have way too much fat. Why do you have more fat than me? Your activity level is higher than mine, right? And you are attempting to eat less than me. You just don't understand. You don't understand nutrition. You don't understand basics. It's calories in, calories out. All right. You can eat 300 plus grams of carbs if you're 40% body fat and lose fat if you do it consistently. Simple. All right. So when it comes to nutrition, all right, I love to use the marriage analogy. All right. The marriage analogy. All right. So imagine if you married a woman that you hate and you didn't find her attractive and you couldn't stand her. You're constantly going to be thinking, like after you guys get married, you're constantly going to be thinking of divorcing her, and then you're going to divorce her, right? That's how it is when you love carbs. Like if you grew up eating carbs like me, and carbs keep you full, and you like at least 150 to 200 grams of carbs, and you decide to commit to keto, right? you're you're gonna literally be thinking about carbs all the time, and it's gonna be restricted, so it's gonna make you want it more because you can't have it. It's gonna be like, damn, I want what I can't have. I want what I can't have, and you're gonna be like, damn, why did I decide to do this? Why did I commit to this diet that doesn't have carbs? This is stupid. And then you're gonna divorce the diet, binge eat, overeat, feel like shit, and be like, I failed. No, you didn't fail. You put out a dumbass plan in the first place, and you try to follow it. All right, I'm okay. Here's the thing. Most people, and I never say this stuff to be vain. I'm saying this shit objectively, all right? Like I say, all my friends are leaner than me, so it is what it is, right? But most people will not get as lean as me, right? They'll never get to the 8 to 10% body fat range, and they'll do more aggressive diets than me. What's the issue then? If they're doing more aggressive diets than me, why aren't they getting leaner than me? Is it genetics? No, it's not genetics. It's literally sustainability. If you do an aggressive diet for 2 weeks, congratulations. You did the bare fucking minimum for 2 weeks. But guess what? You can't consistently maintain it like I can maintain mine because mine is more sustainable because I'm incorporating carbs. So if you do something that you can't do consistently, then guess what? You're not going to do it consistently. You're not going to see the results. Period. So you guys really need to stop doing dumb shit like, oh, let me go vegan and lose all my muscle. Just stop being dumb, bro. It's not that deep. All right. The lean formula, guys. Protein, protein, protein. So listen, protein is going to increase satiety. All right. So you want to spam as much protein as possible. All right. So do at least 1 gram per pound lean body mass or zero point 0.8 to 1 gram lean body mass. I know a lot of bodybuilders will say stuff like, oh, yeah, do three grams per pound body weight. And they're eating like fucking 400 grams of protein, which is just insane. It's just unnecessary. But yeah, increased protein will help your cravings a lot. Small things like protein shakes and protein chips, if it's the right flavors, could also like curb your appetite, especially if you eat it in between, meals and stuff like that. Like protein snacks are really, really effective for keeping you satiated in between meals. I know some people are like, oh, protein bars are bad. I mean, listen, the only people who are allowed to say that is people below 10% body fat. If you're above that, do not say protein bars are bad. Protein bars are way better than Snicker bars. Protein shakes are healthier than milkshakes and coffees from Starbucks. Period. All right. But yeah, this is going to increase your your calorie burn because you burn more calories when you consume protein, but it's also going to keep you more satiated as well. All right, nutrient density is another one, guys. So the veggies, the fruits, the lean proteins, all of that, obviously is going to help with your energy levels, your recovery, your sleep. You know what I mean? So it's very important to eat nutrient dense food. That's why a lot of you guys say things like, "Hey man, can I just eat whatever as long as I'm in a deficit?" You could try that. You'll lose weight. you may not lose as much fat as you can, and you might not maintain as much muscle as you can, and you're gonna feel like shit, so it'll be less sustainable. Your sleep's gonna be off because you're eating shitty foods. Your insulin levels will be off. You'll be craving more. Your ghrelin levels will be off as well because of the lack of sleep and all the processed sugars that you'll be eating. Like if you eat Pop Tarts in a deficit, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have cravings through the roof. All right, so you really want to make sure that you're still eating whole foods in your deficit. And yeah, so the meal plan that I'm linking in the description is going to have all of that. It's going to have different recipes, but it's going to have pretty much all healthy options. You know, what I eat to stay lean and get lean, very, very important. But yeah, it just gives you overall of all of that because I know a lot of people, they want to get lean, but they struggle specifically with nutrition. So it has like 10 recipes, more recipes than I use in a year. And then it has different meal options as well. But anyways, another thing is electrolytes. If you have headaches, you feel lightheaded, you feel fatigued, your sodium intake is probably too low. For some reason, I don't know who created this misconception. Actually, it was a misconception back in like 2010s. But people think when you're cutting, you don't need sodium. You need a fuckload of sodium when you're going to the gym. All right. I will, while I'm on a cut, when I get to the 1800 calories, I get super lean. I will literally, when I come back from the gym, before I make my meal, I will literally just put some pink Himalayan salt in my hand and just eat it. All right, because I need sodium. Or I'll take some electrolytes, whichever one. All right, but yeah, the muscle spasms, the cramps, all that shit, that's because you're not getting enough electrolytes. So either supplement with it or season the fuck out of your foods and make sure you're getting potassium through bananas, raisins, green leafy vegetables. All right, simple shit. Calculating your calories, obviously, it's pretty simple. All right, so obviously you could type it into a calorie calculator, get a rough estimate. The thing is, I don't really care about the calorie number that you pick because realistically, if a calorie calculator somehow was like 200 calories off and you followed it for a year, you would still get significant results. All right. But the thing is not about the calorie number and all that shit. It's about macronutrients matter too, but it's just about being consistent with it. Like so many people get calorie numbers. They're like, is that too much? Is that too little? If you did it for like 6 months, you'd get results. The problem is you do it for one day, then you quit. Like that's the real problem. But anyways, as far as protein, like I said, use zero point 0.8 to 1 gram per pound lean body mass. Fill that in with protein. Get at least 55 grams of fat. You guys know I keep my fats high as shit. And then you just fill the rest in with carbs. You'll be in a deficit. You'll be fine. When you start tracking calories, you're going to do something that's annoying that I see a lot of people do. They'll be like, oh my God, 300 grams of carbs is so much. And I'm like, you're fat as hell. You eat more than that every day. This is the least amount of carbs you have eaten in a year. Why are you panicking over 300 grams of carbs? Right? Because yeah, it's just like when people start tracking, they start to panic over numbers. It's like that looks like a lot. It's like you always eat more than that. You just haven't been aware of it. So like I said, for example, most people eat on average. They might have days where they eat low, like they might eat salad some days, but on average, people are eating 400 plus grams of carbs. Carbs are in everything. All right, the milkshakes, the sodas, it's in everything. So a lot of times people aren't aware of what they're eating and aware of how much they're eating, right? So then they'll be like, dude, I don't know if I can eat 300 grams of carbs. It's too much. And since I'm giving them healthy sources and everything satiating, they feel like they're overeating when in reality, they're in a deficit. All right. So make sure you actually follow the calorie number. Like that's the most important thing. And if you're trying to build muscle and limit fat gain, either main gain or lean bulk, right? Very simple shit. All right. One more thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you realize that food is fuel and you don't do what I consider the most annoying thing. Panic over a freaking hunger pain. If you have a huge stomach and you have a hunger pain, that is a good thing. That means you're going in the right direction. All right. That means you're going in the right direction. You need hunger pains. Like a lot of times people have never had hunger pains before and they're like, dude, like it's not fair. I don't get results. It's like you've never been uncomfortable in your entire, lifting career. If you haven't been uncomfortable, then you're not going to make progress. For those of you trying to gain muscle, yeah, you're going to be full. It's going to be annoying, but you'll get used to it. So if you're trying to gain muscle and you're not full, most of the time, then you're not eating how much you're supposed to. If you're not having hunger pains and you're trying to lose fat, it's not going to happen. All right. One more thing. I know 4th of July just passed. Holidays don't mean you binge. There's zero correlation between binging and a holiday. It's your decision to overeat for no fucking reason. All right. Live with intention. Stop living without intention and just doing what people do. Like, huh? Oh, we have to overeat today, huh? Just stop being a fucking dumbass NPC. All right. Birthdays don't mean you eat half the fucking cake. It just doesn't literally, it makes no sense. All right, so it's your birthday, you're celebrating life. So let me eat something that's likely going to give me type 2 diabetes. It just doesn't make any sense. Things that go against your goals, you have to start being intentional with what you do. Stop doing shit on autopilot. A lot of you guys do shit on autopilot. Like when I talk to some of you guys, you'll be like, "Yeah, man. So it was the holiday, and I had to overeat." I will literally hang up the Zoom call on you right there. The fuck are you talking about? That makes no sense. So it's the holiday, so you have to overeat. Who told you have to overeat? Well, that's what everyone else is doing. So you want to look like everyone else? No. So stop doing what they're doing. It's not that deep. It's literally embarrassing. Oh well, you're not gonna be social. Listen, if you want to get lean, this is the simple mindset you need. If you don't want to get lean, then eat whatever you want to. I don't care. But but if you want to get lean, you can't complain about the results you're not getting from the work you're not putting in. If you're getting drunk every weekend, you're eating half the cake at everyone's birthday, you're going to all these birthday parties throughout the year eating shit, and then you're binging every holiday, you're not getting lean. Bro, holidays and weekends take up majority of the year. Like almost 40% of the year's holiday and weekends. And then if you throw in your friends' birthdays, if you're in like a fraternity or something and you throw in friends' birthdays and shit, or like Line Brothers birthdays, then that's half of your year is going to be binge eating. You see what I'm saying? So listen, most people aren't willing to make these sacrifices. These aren't even sacrifices. This is just basic shit. Like it's like, you know what? I'm on my journey and someone's like, hey, you want cake? It's like, no, of course I don't want cake. How is like that's not a big deal. That's not a sacrifice. It's not. All right. It's fucking simple. All right. Sugar is an addiction, though. Like, let me be honest. It's an addiction. So it's going to take you time to overcome, just like it takes time to overcome anything. All right. So the chips, the fried foods, the fast foods are addictive. But if you slowly reduce the amount you're intaking every single week, things will get better. All right. If these things weren't addictive, then there would be no one that's obese. However, by 2030, they say like 50% of the population is going to be obese. But when I go to fucking Walmart or something, it looks like it's 100% of the population. All right. I'm not even going to talk about cheat days. All right. Here's the thing. If you're fat as shit, you had enough cheat days. It's disrespectful to me. It's disrespectful when someone's over 30% body fat. And they're like, hey, can I have cheat days? Isn't that what you've been doing every fucking day, bro? Look at you, like it's crazy. All right, lock in on your nutrition. Make this a lifestyle and stop trying to take shortcuts. All right, if you really just want to have cheat days every day, go get ab etching like Drake. Then, whatever. All right. Another thing is control what you can. Only you can control what you can. All right. Like you can't control other people. You can only control yourself and what you do. So the nutrition, stop buying Oreos and chips. Out of sight, out of mind. Simple shit. Change the foods you surround yourself with. All right, out of sight, out of mind. Like me and my friend were talking about this shit. Like when we're when we're lean as shit, bro, the cupboards are depressing, bro. Like right now, what do my cupboards have in it, man? Some motherfucking tuna, some almonds. So when I'm done with my meal, if I am trying to binge eat, I'm cooked. All right, can't do that. So it's super hard to eat like shit when you have lean meats, pause, and nuts, repause, sweet potatoes, protein snacks. When that's all you have around you, it's very hard to uh to binge eat. All right, so it's very important that you surround yourself with the right foods. All right. So anyways, if you're sick of not being able to see your Johnson when you look down, a lot of you guys hop out of the shower, you look down, you're like, wait, where is it? You can't fucking see it. All right, that's reality for a lot of people. If you're ready to get on body game, you're ready to have a structured plan. I got nutrition plans, I got workout plans. Soon I'm coming out with the 25 to 10% body fat plan, 16 weeks to get you from 25 to 10%. All that's gonna be in the description. Very simple shit, but that's only if you're serious about losing fat, right? It'll be programs mapped out for you guys so you guys could actually get lean. Because I know a lot of you guys watch it and you're like, oh, I can't get good at nutrition. What do I do? The nutrition plan will have 10 recipes. It'll have a sample meal plan that I use every day. Now, I don't switch shit out a lot. So the 10 recipes is gonna be more than I have in a year because I keep it very simple year round. All right, but yeah, that'll all be included in the bio, man. So if you're ready to lose body fat, you're serious about that shit, link is in the description. And Discord with dating advice, stock trading, all that shit. That's also in the description. Stay blessed. Stay